Well, thanks for staying with us on the program this morning as we discuss our concluding segment on the program. And it's a huddle on the desk of the electoral umpire INEC. 110 organizations have filed applications seeking to be registered as political parties ahead of the 2027 general election. This morning, a journalist and media expert, John Alechenu, joins us on the program to discuss this and how it impacts the multi-party system in practice in Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. John, and welcome to the program.
Sorry, I think there is a mix-up. Olukunle Durodolu is my name.
Oh, Mr. Kunle, apologies. Nice to have you join us on the program. There's the mix-up there, but would have it sorted out in a bit.
Yes, I can understand. Good morning.
Good morning to you once again. Let's get your thoughts. The challenge with the information on ground is in terms of the requirements that would make for the approval of the applications of this 110 organizations. Amongst the set requirements, there needs to be operational offices of these intended parties in at least 24 states out of the 36 states in the FCT. There also needs to be a national working committee of these parties. So far, so good. The only one that has purportedly issued a statement on who its party officials are in the regions and the National Working Committee is a certain ADA party that is supposed to be the coalition party. Let's get your thoughts and assessments on these developments thus far.
Well, what I am seeing is a sign that the political actors, many of them are not matured yet. I read it yesterday that 150 parties, 110 wrote applications to INEC that they want to float their own political parties. And I don't think all of them have ideologies that is going to be far different from each other. If truly they have intentions of governing the country, they should be able to sit down and streamline their ideology in a way that they accommodate themselves in a party. Look at democracy in America, for example. They have the Republicans and the Democrats, and these are the parties that has been dominating their democracy for a very long time now. But in our own case, we keep on registering new parties every day, and people from a particular party will merge after a minor disagreement, and they will go and merge, they will go and form another party. It shows that we are not really, we are not ready for democracy yet.
Now, I spoke to a professor of political science a couple of days ago. He in his opinion, there are no opposition parties, but miniature parties, much like you just said, with a lack of definitive ideology. In this instance, how does this shape our political landscape going forward? The need for clearly defined ideologies within the parties that currently exist. Do you think that the actors in place have this on their agenda, or it's more on what is perceived as a power grab?
Well, I will advise that we amend our laws in a way that it will make it more stringent to just be floating political parties. We find out most of these political parties, when election comes, they either merge or use the political platform to collect political aggies. So I don't think the ideology is for governance. I think the ideology is more of personal interest that everybody is pursuing, and nobody wants to really sacrifice anything. So, well, I will advise INEC to create a more stringent rules that will make it a little bit difficult for them to just wake up in the morning and decide to be floating political parties. These are parties that are not based on ideology or anything serious. They will fizzle out before election, and at the end of the day, what's now the essence of forming these political parties in the first place when they are not competitive, when they are not ready to challenge for anything, when they rather merge their parties into another bigger party? Why can't they do that in the ab initio so that they too will be part of that political structure and build something out of that instead of just forming political parties that are not really achieving any desired results?
Now, you spoke about the need to amend legislation. In the month of May, a bill on the floor of the House of Representatives seeking to remove the power of registering and regulating political parties from INEC had scaled second reading. It was much debated upon based on the angle of needing a newly established body to regulate this function. Speaking to this legislation that is now being purported to be removed from INEC, which other established agency would you feel would better function in that regards of regulating the registration of political parties?
In my own opinion, INEC should have been in better position to regulate parties. They should set rules. A political party that does not have offices in 2/3 of federation should not be registered in the first place. They should have offices. They should have executives. They should have people at the world level that people can relate with. But when they have parties that it's only in the bedroom of the founder or bedrooms of few people who just sit down and register a party, it will not achieve any results. And I think the people who are trying to take the processes away from INEC, they will not be doing a very wonderful job if they take the powers of regulating political parties away from INEC. I don't think that bill will achieve any significant result. I am not even sure whether the president will sign such ill-advised laws.
Now, talking about being advised on the law, mind you, it is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and an Edo lawmaker in Marcus Onubun who co-sponsored this bill. Having someone as high as the Speaker of the House co-sponsoring a bill that seeks to do this, would you still say it's ill-informed?
Well, Honorable Tajuddin and Abbas and the other man who initiated the bill, they are politicians. So I don't trust their opinion on that. I will rather allow independent National Electoral Commission to be saddled with that responsibility than for politicians to try to take those powers away from INEC, who will not be in position to regulate political parties, if not INEC, that is the umpire.
Now, there's a part of the bill, clause 35 of that bill, that also proposes the establishment of a political party dispute tribunal to look into the affairs of political disputes and infightings between some of the political parties, like we see. Some disagreeing on the position of national secretary, others disagreeing on the position of party chairman as well. Do you think that the bill in totality needs to be looked at? Because for me, I think that bill, that clause that seeks to establish that tribunal, has a good intent. What do you think?
Well, politicians have their motive. It may not be clear to some of us now, but at the end of the day, by the time they are able to go through with that, we will now clearly see what they intend to achieve. In my own opinion, I think they should allow INEC to continue with their job. Now they will create another office. What INEC would have done, what INEC has been doing easily, instead of modifying it and make it simpler for INEC, they will now create another department that will be saddled with that responsibility. It's like we are just duplicating the jobs. INEC, they are in better position to manage these problems. Anybody that has dispute can go to court, and court will adjudicate on it, instead of creating another dispute resolution organ that is different from INEC, that the outcome of their decision will still end up in either Court of Appeal or Supreme Court. Why don't we allow courts, the normal courts, to handle it the way they've been doing?
Now, in closing, Mr. Kunle, before I let you go, we have less than 2 minutes. I'd like to get your thoughts. There have been many speculations and opinions that going into 2027, Nigerians will not be voting along party lines, but are looking for an alternative government. This has brought into conversations the talk of a mega party, one that idealizes the yearnings of Nigerians in our current day social political landscape. What are your permutations in that regard?
People who are floating that idea, they are probably deceiving themselves and they are not being sincere. There are people who migrated from other political parties because of their misunderstandings, and they now say no, people will not vote according to a particular pattern. Do they know the mind of the people? Do they know the mind of the electorate? Do they own the electorate? Now look at it. PDP is in disarray. Labour Party, they have infighting. The party that has not been registered, ADA, they too, they are already having some factions. If the outlook of the political parties appear this way, how will they now challenge for 2027 elections? If APC win at the end of the day, they will be shouting rigging. Where is the rigging coming from? They are already not organized. They are in disarray. And if they are not united, how can they challenge the ruling party?
Well, Mr. Kunle, I must thank you for joining us to share your thoughts on the program. Although time was not enough for us to discuss the clauses of the proposed bill looking to remove the power of party registrations from INEC and this proposal of 110 organizations to have them registered under our current 18 political party register domiciled in INEC. Hopefully going into the next week, we'll find time to do that.
Yes, it's my pleasure to be here. I'll be always available.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, I wish you the same. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, big debates. Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas co-sponsoring a bill with Honorable Marcus Onubun to remove the power of registering political parties from the electoral umpire INEC, thereby altering a section of the Electoral Act of 2022. This bill, which had scaled second reading, also has clauses, particularly Clause 35, that also seeks to establish a political party disputes tribunal, one that would resolve disputes between political parties and also prescribe punishments in terms of offenses registered by these political parties. Big questions are how this would shape the political landscape on the Nigerian's current multi-party system that has 18 political parties under the INEC register. In the coming days, we'd find how many of these parties meet the set criteria and would get their applications approved. However, it's been a nice time discussing these issues on the news with you this morning. My name is Bito Brian. Thanking you.